Howdy, y'all. I am FRF MMA first round finish, and today I bring you another fight night predictions video. Uros Medics versus D Rod D Daniel D Rod D Rod Rodriguez. Let's get into it. And with the very first opener, we have an absolute slobber knocker of Marina Spasic versus Stephanie Luciano. Now, Marina Spasic, she's 32. I'm on giggly right now, dude. It's like 2 o'clock right now, so I'm just going at it right now. I had to record this video because my roommate was sleeping and I couldn't be loud in the audio. I had no emphasis on my voice. I sounded like shit. Anyway, we have Marina Spasic. She's 32 years old, 5'4", 66-inch reach, and a record of 7-1, 6 of those being finishes. Now, this chick is very good at setting up body shots to drop opponents when she has them hurt. And she is on a regional scene, and it is at 115 pounds, women's MMA. So, we don't know how good she is really, but she does look very good technically striking. And I think she is going to bring some heat to Stephanie Luciano. Stephanie Luciano hasn't really showed anything. She did get another win, but she lost to Sam Hughes. Yeah, Sam Hughes. And she got 10-8 by Sam Hughes in the second round. So, you know. But Stephanie Luciano is 26-year-old, 5'6", 65.5-inch reach with a record of 7-2-1. That one draw coming on the Contender Series where she drew with her opponent, but then came back with I think they both might have gotten a UFC contract because they both came back and had the second fight with Stephanie coming up on top with a unanimous decision. Now she, like I was saying, she did get finished. No, she didn't get finished. She did get 10-8 by Sam Hughes in the second round, but she was able to rally back and then come back with another finish in her last fight. But I don't know, man. She's the favorite to this fight, and I understand that Marina Spasic is making her debut and stuff like that, but she just looks like a very crisp striker with all these TKOs for 115 pounds. I mean, she does look kind of promising, so I'm going to take Marina Spasic for a second round TKO. For the second fight of the night, we have Jovan Lika versus Alexander Popik. Now, Jovan Lika, he's 24 years old. He's 6'5" with a 79-inch reach and a record of 13-2. He does not look like he is 6'5". This man is almost 6'6" and 260 pounds. And he's not really a big blobby. I mean, he has a little blob to him, like the nice little semi-blob in the UFC heavyweights. This guy's main purpose in his last couple of fights is to corner you into the back of the cage, trip you out, and then lay on top of you and get the TKO. He did that to a man in his very last fight against the guy who went against Waldo Ortiz Acosta in the Contender Series, and he got smoked. But he kind of just pushed him immediately back to the cage, laid on top of them, and just pounded him, no diddy, on the ground. And that's I believe that's what he's going to try and get for Alexander Popik, especially since Popik is coming in on a I think he's short notice, and he's bumping up a weight class. Alexander Popik, he's 34 years old, 6'2", 74-inch reach with a record of 21-5-1. Now, he did go on to the Contender Series and got smoked out by a enthusiastic Jamal Hill, not a Jamal Hill who looks like he's about to give birth, not a Jamal Hill who looks like he's in worse shape than Roy Nelson. But anyway, Alexander Popik is coming in on short notice, and he is going up a weight class against a heavyweight who is not a total blob and actually has a good amount of muscle and like good mass on him. He's not coming and fighting a Chris Barnett or anything like that. And I don't know, man. He is on like a 5-fight win streak, but it's just I don't think he has the lighter man skill or enough lighter man skill to actually do anything or even hurt Jovan Lika. So we are gonna take Jovan Lika. I'm gonna go with second round TKO. I think Popek is gonna be able to squirm around a little bit in the first round since he is so much lighter than Lika. But I think that extra weight and stuff like that is gonna weigh him down, leading to getting pressured against the cage, getting laid on top of, and getting slimed out. Alrighty, we got another banger with Nina Milosevic versus Haley fucking Cohen, bro. Okay, now Nina Milosevic is 29 years old, 5'5", 65-inch reach, and is 8-1 on an 8-fight win streak. She also has a very diverse background in judo, going third and fifth in like a European nationals tournament and stuff like that. She also has a extensive amateur background, which is I think she won a couple amateur tournaments as well. And she looks pretty decent, especially going on this 8-fight win streak and everything like that. She's also in her not hometown but home country of Serbia. And the thing is, Haley Cohen is 7-5. So yeah, we're going with Nina with the first round knockout, man. All right, this fight I am actually excited for. Mateus Rebecki versus Kyle Prepolek. Now, Mateus Rebecki, he is 33, 5'7", 66-inch reach, and a record of 20-5. Now, that picture at the top left, that is actually not a part of his country's flag, but I put it in there because this guy is a dog, dude. He goes to fucking war every single fucking time he fights. Has a very good win against Oroblai, the guy who looks like he got carved out of stone or came out after like the Stone Age and he was entrapped in ice. Yeah, he has a win over that guy where they just fucking painted the canvas, dude. It was awesome. But this man always comes out, has a great, great war, and I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see him fight, and I'm very biased. Kyle Prepolek, he's 36, 5'10", with a 70-inch reach and a record of 18-10, and he did get slimed out by Drew Dober in his last fight and submitted by BSD. So, this guy's Canadian, so I'm going to harp on him for that. Being Canadian is not a good base for MMA, so we're not gonna take no shit from a Canadian. We are gonna go with this Polish power to take down Kyle Prepolek. Come on, man. I don't want Mateus Rebecki to be cut from the UFC. He brings a goddamn firefight every time. So we're taking Mateus Rebecki with the second round knockout. Bogdan Grad versus Dennis Boom Boom Body Bag Bazooka. Now, Bogdan Grad, he is 30 years old, 5'8", 70-inch reach, and a record of 15-4. Now, all of his UFC losses have come to pretty decent competition. I'm not going to knock the guy for getting knocked out by Tom Nolan and Luke Riley. Tom Nolan upset Frizium, who in himself was a decent prospect, and Tom Riley just had a very good standing TKO a couple weeks ago. And I mean, Bogdan Grad is not the greatest, but he does have some good grappling elements. Like he did hold down Luke Riley for a whole round and just he couldn't get anything off. And if Luke Riley didn't land that counter left hook, the fight could have played out completely differently. But this man is pretty good at striking. He was just overmatched by Luke Riley and Tom Nolan, which isn't even that bad in and of itself. So I don't think this guy is terrible. I don't think he's good, but I do not think Bogdan Grad is terrible. He also grew out his hair, and I think he bleached it, which could be one of the best bases for MMA. Now, Dennis Bazooka. He is 28 years old, 5'9", 70.5-inch reach with a record of 12-6, and this man is 1-4 in the UFC. I mean, he is just kind of bottom of the barrel. Not really great at anything. He's pretty good at getting chinned. I think he's been chinned in his like last 2 or 3 fights, and I believe this is kind of just a layup for Bogdan Grad to get him another win in the UFC after taking on some tougher opponents like Luke Riley and stuff like that. But I think Bogdan Grad is kind of better wherever this fight goes. So I am picking Bogdan Grad by first round TKO. Now this should be another pretty good fight with Mark Volognin versus Borislav Nikolic. Mark Volognin, he's 26, 5'3", very, very short fighter, especially for bantamweight. But anyway, 65-inch reach and a record of 12-4-2. Now, this man lost his Contender Series fight, but it was such a banger that they let him in anyway. And he proceeded to go in and draw in his next fight only because he got kicked in the dick. This guy is very good at saying, hey man, you're going to punch me in the face 200 times. I'm going to punch you in the face like 120 or 150 times. So I'm probably going to lose, but we will make this a very entertaining fight. And that's what I think is going to happen. He is every time he gets punched in the face, he's going to get punched back or throw a punch back every like half the time. This dude is a little muscular ball of punching bag. I mean, he really just comes in and gets punched in the face 200 times, but he will throw back, but just not as much. I think he is going to be doing pretty well in the first round. Then after the second and third, he's kind of just going to lose that gas tank a little bit. Borislav Nikolic, he is 33 years old, 5'9", 73-inch reach, and a record of 16-2. One of those two losses coming from Brad Katona, who is in the UFC. Not the greatest, but he is in the UFC at least. Now, Borislav is a regional champion. Also, he is fucking massive for this bantamweight fight. I mean, he's 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. And Vologden is a really small bantamweight, and he wouldn't even be like moderate size for flyweight. He'd be a small flyweight. So just the sheer amount of size difference is going to be insane in this fight. But Nikolic, he does have a couple first round finishes, but in his last couple of fights, it kind of took him a little bit to get started, and so that's why I'm going with Borislav to win, but I do think he is going to lose the first round, but then he's just going to put it all together and piece up Vologden in the second and third round. So I am going with Borislav with a 29-28 decision. Michael Oliveira versus Oban Elliott. Now, Michael Oliveira, he's 28 years old, 6'1", with almost a 79-inch reach, and he has an undefeated record of 9-0, 8 of those being knockouts. 5 of 6 wins. He was in LFA, were by knockout. His last one was by unanimous decision. Came to the Contender Series and smoked out his opponent with a devious left hook, and now he is facing Oban Elliott, who is on a 2-fight losing streak. And man, oh man, it is going to be bad. Now, Oban Elliott, he is 28, 6 foot tall, 72-inch reach with a record of 12-4. Like I said, he is on a 2-fight losing streak. So if y'all will take a moment of silence with me for a second for Oban Elliott. All right, cool. I think he's never been finished in the first round. I will give him that. So I'm just going to give him the common courtesy of not getting finished in the first round. So we're going to take Michael Oliveira to slime him out in the second round. Ludovic Klein versus Tafik Cheater, Pumpkin Eater, Musayev. Ludovic Klein, he is 31, 5'7", 72.5-inch reach with a record of 24-5-1. Now, besides losing to Mateus Gamrot, he hasn't lost in like 5 years. And now it was to Nate the Train Landwehr by submission, but we don't want to talk about that. That was almost 5 years ago. And he did step up on short notice against Gamrot, and he didn't get finished. People do say his grappling is a little lackluster. I kind of disagree. I mean, you didn't get finished by the third best lightweight, grappling lightweight, not the third best lightweight, but he didn't get finished. So I think that is a good ups on him. This guy's very decent, taking out the trash and taking out some of the upper like 20, 30-ish lightweights in the division. But I do think he is better than Tafik Musayev in almost every single way because Musayev doesn't really have a grappling game anyway. He got finished by Kimura, by Oroblai, the cavestone man the caveman we were talking about earlier. But here are the stats for this cheating piece of shit. He is 36 years old, 5'9", 69-inch reach with a record of 23-6. Now, it should be 22-7 because in his last fight, this guy did one of the worst cage grabs in MMA history and headbutted his opponent multiple times. And kind of just nothing happened to it. He got hurt very, very badly. Like, if he didn't grab that cage, he would have lost the fight. He would have been done. It would have been over. But this piece of shit grabbed the cage, headbutted his opponent multiple times, and we don't fuck with that over here at the FRF studio, which is just my bedroom. But anyway, we're gonna go with Ludovic Klein with a 29-28 decision. I think he is better wherever this fight goes. Also, Musayev had a TKO to getting kicked in the liver to downward dick kick. And I like watching that now just because this guy is a cheating piece of shit. But anyway, Ludovic Klein, 29-28 decision. Milos Jančić versus DLC character you have not bought or a character you have not unlocked yet. Milos Jančić, he is 29 years old, 6 foot tall, 72.5 inch reach with a record of 19-3. He actually started off his career going 1-2, coming with that third fight with his only TKO loss. Now, this guy seems special. He has 19 wins and he has 19 finishes. That is like fucking unheard of. That is insane. I mean, like, th- like going 10, 9, 8 fights, all by knockout, all by submission. Now, that is a good prospect. You're going to come around and seeing those guys. We have another one with Michael Oliveira, but he couldn't even go 10 fights without going through a decision. Now, he isn't undefeated, but he hasn't lost in 7 years. And if he's not losing, he's putting you out. He's putting you out. He's making you tap or he's knocking you out. And that's just insane to me. So I am very excited to see this guy fight and take on Noah Gugnon. He is 25 years old, 5'10", 60, almost a 69-inch reach, and a record of 9-2. Now, this guy fought on Bellator, made his Bellator debut, and got finished by a nasty elbow. And then he lost his next fight after that, but he has been on a 5-fight finish streak since then. But I don't know. I don't think it's as impressive because he only does have 11 pro fights, but he is only fighting guys who are like have less than like 10 fights on their records. And I get it. They have not really similar records, but similar experiences. And I just don't think he has the experience to take out Jančić. Jančić has like double the experience and like over double the wins, and all of them are by finishes. Now, I do think Gugnon is better than the typical Jančić opponent, so I am going to give him until round 2 of until getting knocked out. Vlasto Sipo versus Gilbert Urbina. Vlasto Sipo, he is 31 years old, 6'1", 73-inch reach, and a record of 14-3. Now, this guy kind of just fights like a bodybuilder. I mean, if you take a look at him, probably has a couple needles in his back pocket. You might want to reach for. Make sure you don't get poked. But anyway, I mean, like literally, he's gonna he's gonna come in and just swing hooks at you until you fall or until he gasses out in midways through the second round. His last fight, not his last fight, his last loss, he did drop his opponent in the first very badly, but I believe he got reversed and then got just taken down and controlled until he gassed out in the third round, I believe, and got caught and just was too tired to continue. But not the most technical guy, I will say, but he is very fun to watch. I will give him that. He is very, very fun to watch. Swinging like a complete retard is honestly great MMA. Great MMA to watch, not technical MMA. You kind of look like you ate crayons back in primary school, but it is fun to watch. Now, Gilbert Urbina, he is 30 years old, 6'3", 75-inch reach, and a record of 7-4. Kind of looks like Haley Cowan. No, but anyway, this guy is fun to watch because all he does is get slimed out. He is 1-3 in the UFC. He got knocked out by Trayson Gore. So that's an achievement in and of itself. But this guy's not UFC caliber. Dropped down to welterweight and now is coming back up to middleweight. I mean, when you have a very bad chin, so you decide to bump up a weight class, either way, going up a weight class when you have a bad chin and going down when you have a weight class like Jack Hermanson did, either way, you're fucked because now you're more drained than you are with Jack Hermanson, who I've been talking about Orably a lot, but he got murdered by Orably. Like it looked like Orably knocked down a skeleton and that skeleton shattered into pieces. And now the same thing's going to happen to fucking Gilbert over here. He's going to get caught, which it's what he does best, and he's going to go down stiff as a fucking rock. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, I have Sipo winning in the first round. You know what? Let's do another moment of silence for Gilbert. All right, there you go. Dusko, Sideways, Stewie Griffin, Tudorovic versus Robert Valentin. Now, Dusko Tudorovic is 32, 6'1", 74-inch reach, and he has a record of 13-6. His last win was against the worst UFC fighter to ever exist in Jose Medina. And before that, he was on a 3-fight losing streak. So this guy really just isn't good. Not a good fighter at all. And 3 years ago, he had a very, very bad leg injury against CLD. And I don't know, man. He's just kind of here to take out like the like shit in a kettle, boiling in a kettle, shit. But he's kind of just like regular dog shit. I mean, it, the last one you have, dude, is Jose Medina. I don't know what else to say. Now, Robert Valentin, 31 years old, 6'2", 77-inch reach, and a record of 11-6 and 1 no contest. Made it to the finals against Ryan Loder in the Ultimate Fighter. Lost that, then lost a couple more. But we are back. We are back. After the loss of his mother, rest in peace, he came back with a dominant submission win. And this guy really got me, so I'm gonna be biased again. I can't help it, man. I can't help it. I'm gonna have the people I like versus the people who I think are shit. So I'm gonna say that Robert Valentin is gonna keep this submission train rolling. We're gonna get another submission in round 2. That is what we are going to do. Don't go to this guy's Instagram. he has some wild things to say. So I am a fan of this guy, but do not look into his Instagram. Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Rakic. Now, Marcin Tybura, he is UNC status. He is 40 years old now, which you can kind of get away being in the heavier weight classes. We're going to see that in a second by being over 40 in the heavier weight classes. He is 6'3", 78-inch reach with a record of 27-11. He is on a 2-fight skid, losing to Tyrell Fortune, who just got shown levels by Rizvan Kuniev and Ante Dija. Ante Dija, I believe is how you say it, with a first round knockout. Now, Marcin Tybura is an ultimate gatekeeper. I know I said Tyrell Fortune got shown levels by Rizvan Kuniev, but Rizvan Kuniev's pretty legit, son. He is definitely at least a top 5 heavyweight, and I think Tyrell Fortune is like an 11 to 15 kind of heavyweight. Maybe you just right outside the 15, but I think Marcin Tybura is just going to keep this L train rolling down to retirement town. And he's coming against pause. He is going against a guy with Alexander Rakic, who his chin is made of fucking baby powder. You sneeze at him, he is going to fall down. But this is lighter man skill, and Marcin Tybura is just going to keep getting older. So let's talk about Alexander Rakic real quick. Alexander Rakic, he is 34, 6'4", 78-inch reach with a record of 14-6. Now, I just said this guy's chin is made of baby powder. You sneeze at this guy wrong, you maybe cough in his direction when he is like not looking, and you're like, "Hey, Rakic, can I tell you something real quick?" And a really big cough hits you, and he turns around and you right in his face. That might knock him down. It really might, which scares me. He's going to the heaviest hitters in the heavyweight club, but I think this man is going to be way too fast for the heavyweights and stuff like that. He's not going to be Tom Aspinall fast. He's not going to be Cyril Gahn fast, but he is going to be a lot faster than some of these heavyweights. And Marcin Tybura is 40 years old, dude. And going against a lighter man than that, the thing is, Alexander is a big light heavyweight, so he can bulk up to this 230-pound range, which is respectable. You don't have to be at the limit at 265 to be a good heavyweight. We're kind of seeing that now. I mean, Josh Hokett is like 220 pounds, and he is derailing all these fat bastards in the heavyweight division. So I think Alexander Rakic is going to come in with these leg kicks and just blast a straight jab right to Marcin Tybura. And I think that's going to stun him a little bit, and Alexander Rakic is going to go in for the kill. And the thing that scares me is he could just get a counter hook and just drop dead right in front of the audience. But I'm hoping Marcin Tybura takes that to the chin and crumbles, and we see Alexander Rakic kind of jump on top of him with ground and pound and finish him in the first round. And that's what I'm going with. Alexander Rakic to win in the first round by TKO. Jan Blachowicz versus Not My Ho Sterling. Jan Blachowicz, he is 43 years old, 6'2", 78 inches of reach, and a record of 28, 11, and 2. Now, this dude is 43. Jan Blachowicz is 43, and he is still a really good light heavyweight. He is taking all of these guys to very close decisions. Carlos Olberg, Magomed Ankalaev, Alex Bahia, Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov, you can kind of see he has declined a little bit since then. But, I mean, you didn't get finished by Alex Bahia. You didn't get finished by Carlos Olberg. And you didn't get finished by Bogdan Guskov, who was on a pretty good tear until the napping performance that he had last week. It was very, very bad. But Jan Blachowicz is fucking good, dude. And I think people need to talk about this more. Because if he does go out there and puts on a crafty veteran 29-28 performance, we got to talk about that. That we haven't seen anything like that since like Randy Couture coming in and Glover Teixeira coming in and winning the belt. And now that's not on the same level, but coming in and potentially taking out this prospect would be a great career ender. And I'm honestly hoping for that because I do think Navajo Sterling is a bit overrated. And I think if he has the same game plan as when he fought Israel Adesanya, he is going to win this. He is going to get these low kicks. He has very devastating low kicks. And if he can get these takedowns on Navajo Sterling, I think he has a chance to victory. But that is not going to be an easy path of victory because Navajo Sterling is 28 years old, 6'4", almost an 80-inch reach, and he is undefeated with a 10-0 record. He was sliming these guys out left and right on the regionals and stuff like that. And he did just knock out Ian Kutalaba with a phantom knee and diarrhea problems from Kutalaba, who kind of just crumbled in the corner and just started getting kind of like a younger sibling when you get pissed off at your little brother. So you come over and like push him down and then just start wailing on him in the corner, and he kind of just sits there and takes it. So yeah, he is. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, Navajo Sterling is very dangerous, but I do think he is a little overrated. I mean, he couldn't finish some of these guys that I think he should be finishing, but he is showing that he is getting better and better with every fight. But I just don't think he is like a top 5 light heavyweight. He will stay. I think he is going to stay ranked. He is going to come around in these rankings. He's 15 right now, I believe, but I don't think he's going to break like the top 7 or anything like that. He's still a good prospect, but I think if Jan plays his cards right and uses that Polish veteran mind, he's going to go for the takedowns and these low kicks to slow down this young and hip prospect. So we are going with Jan Blachowicz with a crafty mac and cheese 29-28 decision win. And now for the main event of Uros Medic versus Daniel D. Rod Rodriguez. Now, Uros Medic, he is not 23, 33 years old, 6'1", 71-inch reach with a record of 13-3. He only does have one knockout loss, but we're going to call this guy Alakazam because he is a glass cannon, y'all. This dude almost got folded by Gilbert over here, dude. That being said, he is on a 3-fight slime out streak, dude. I thought he killed Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's essence out of his body came out through his nose after he got slimed out by Uros Medic. Now, defensively, like I said, you get knocked down by fucking Gilbert, dude. I'm going to question your defense a little bit, but I don't think he's going to need it. I do not think he's going to need it. Daniel Rodriguez, he is 39 years old, 6'1", 74-inch reach, and a record of 20-5. And again, I know he only has one TKO loss, but he got dropped by Kevin Holland pretty badly in his last fight. And I don't think after being in prison for almost a year, this guy's going to come out of prison like Mike Tyson. I think this dude's going to come out of prison like Cain Velasquez, with like less intentions of killing his opponent. Like, I mean, dude, you in the first round of the Kevin Holland fight, he like bum rushed him with like this half bullshit Naruto run, just with his arms flailing by his sides. If you do that to Uros Medic, dude, you're getting put in the graveyard, and I'm going to have to give you a minute of silence. Not even a moment. You're getting a full minute if you do that against Uros Medic. Now, D-Rod isn't really. I mean, he's kind of heavy-handed. He did have uh, Kevin Holland very, very hurt. But I mean, dude, you're out for a year. You're coming back. I don't think he had any needles. He probably had some roll ups in his prison pocket saved for. But I mean, it's gonna be bad. That's all. I mean, it's gonna be bad, and that's really all I have to say for D-Rod, man. I'm taking Uros Medic for a first round knockout. Knock out. Mama said knock you out, kind of knockout. It gonna be bad. But anyways, y'all, if y'all did like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching and staying till the end of the video. Um, dude, we're gonna. This is gonna be like there's gonna be a graveyard after this fight card. There's just gonna be so many slime outs. I am very excited for the this card. Um, Probably gonna be at least like half of the cards gonna be full of like knockouts, not even TKOs, like knockouts. But anyway, thank y'all all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. Bye bye.